It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Oil Stream. It's Friday, it's game day, it's suits and T-shirts and Expos hats, and Tommy actually looking very respectable as well. The Oil Stream brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. How are you, buddy?
I'm always well. You look very nice. The Expos hat is a great touch, I have to say. And I'm letting loose a little bit. I'm gonna come clean. I'm wearing joggers. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm wearing joggers right now. And the tie has come off. The formal pants have come off. I'm quite comfortable from the waist down. I'll be honest with you.
As am I. I am wearing Golden Bears football track pants that were given to me by Chris Morris. I think they can only fit myself or Chris Morris. And I like to put them on in the house here with my wife and role play that I am Chris Morris, Tommy. It's crazy. She'll be like, "Can you be Chris Morris tonight?" I'm like, "Not a problem, my wife. Like, it'll be great." So I mean,
Tammy has a penchant for champions and studious men, which, I mean, I'd make the case you're both of those things, but to each their own.
I'm also repping the two guys in a goalie shirt. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Yeah.
When do we get our merch?
Well, I've had a shirt for Gager. Or you mean for Oil Stream or for two guys? Because I should probably get you
Oil
one of these
Stream.
too.
Yeah.
Actually, I was talking with Branko about getting us some Oil Stream merch because he's my guy, right? So we can maybe make that work. But I've had a two guys shirt in my vehicle probably the entire pandemic for Gager. It's just sitting in a plastic bag in the back seat. It's just I haven't seen him essentially for that long. So
if only you guys were in the same place at the same time watching the same sporting event, which tends to happen from time to time. Bizarre, no?
Yeah, I guess. Although I think, how many games has he done? Because I've watched two of his on TV because I think he's a weekend guy. I think they saved the best for the weekend, Tommy.
I've heard from sources, a.k.a. Uncle Gene, that he'll be back. Don't worry. He'll be back.
Of course he'll be back. He's hilarious.
Yeah. He's
awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
He's outstanding.
He's also a financial advisor. So if you're looking to invest some of your money, chat with Gager. Find him on Twitter. All right, let's see. If you're watching on the live stream, you can comment. If you have any questions, we might have a little bit of mailbag time today. So hit us up. Any questions? If you're watching the live stream, we'll get to those. Also, if you're watching the live stream and you have not subscribed to the podcast, do that. Just search The Oil Stream on all of your podcasting platforms. Once again, our presenting sponsor is Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. 7 Edmonton locations, 12 overall, all of them locally owned and operated. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, wherever you can get your food, you can get Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. And wait for it, Popeye's cups. There they are. 4 of them.
So nice.
Collect them today, Tommy.
Okay, I will. Thank you very much.
Not Marcel Hosta says, Gager getting more airtime in Edmonton sports world is good for everyone.
Agreed.
Amen. I agree with that. All right, Tommy, Oilers and Sens tonight. Oilers trying to make it 7 straight against the Ottawa Senators. Outside of that series against the Leafs, they've actually won, 8 overall against the North, and it must be something like 13 of 15 or 14 to 16 now in the North, which is crazy. It's that damn series against the Leafs that really sort of put a damper on a hell of a run here. For the most part, the same lineup tonight. I know you were there for the skate this morning. What are we going to see as far as changes go?
Chris Russell, day-to-day lower body, so Caleb Jones back in action, and Mike Smith between the pipes. Outside of that, no other changes. So, I mean, why mess or tinker with a good thing? We saw Jujhar Khaira today working with Patrick Russell on fisticuffs a little bit of the rough stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to happen, but, Russell's feisty. He gets in there. It was a pretty ho-hum morning skate, business as usual. I know the Sens were a little more electric yesterday. Brady Tkachuk, talking with ace cameraman Dave Parker for TSN, said that Brady Tkachuk was just a ball of fire on the ice yesterday during practice. He is pissed off with how things are going with his team at the other end of the rink. The Oilers have been pretty calm, cool, and collected. That's what happens when you're winning games and generally playing well. Yes, the Leafs series will be a staunch reminder of what can occur. But yeah, expect more of the same in terms of lineup, and we'll see if the Oilers can do more of the same on the scoreboard. Ultimately, that's all that matters. And then tomorrow again in Vancouver, so we'll see how it goes there.
chance for redemption against the Leafs coming up anyway. So lots of time to discuss that. You mentioned the Sens pretty fired up yesterday. Is this the one they get? Like, I don't think anybody is going to be calling into your post-game show tonight on TSN 1260, ripping the Oilers if they finally drop one to the Sens. Do you think they planets are kind of aligning here or what?
If they had played better the other night, got better goaltending the other night, and still lost, I would have said maybe this is the one. And if they didn't get injuries to Colin White and Ryan Dzingel, and I know Dzingel's been struggling the last couple of years, but I think he's still an effective player. He looked like he was moving his feet, confident with the puck, at least when I was watching him the last couple of games. And White's a good player. He's a good up-and-coming player. So those are big holes on their roster and in their lineup. So I don't know, Dusty. I think the Oilers might have Ottawa's number here, have their will to win if they crush it again with an early goal. I don't know if it's going to be a 7-1, but I think it should be a favorable outcome for the Oilers if things continue. This is tough for Ottawa. It's been a kind of a free fall all season. I think we're looking at an Oilers win. I don't think tonight's the night. I asked that in my question of the night on pregame Wednesday, and a couple people really didn't take too well to that question of the night and called me dumb and said it was a stupid question and all kinds of wonderful names. It's radio. It's entertainment. We're asking you what you think about the question, and instead of answering the question, they just decided to attack me. My feelings were hurt. I cried a little bit. So there you go. That's what happens when you do that via text.
Yeah, I don't want to come across here as a huge jerk, but stupid question, Tommy. Stupid question.
I knew it was you. It was either you or my dad or my mom or my grandma. It was one of those four.
We all hate you. No doubt about that.
I do too sometimes.
So Jones gets back in. A lot of people prefer Jones in the lineup to Russell because he has the ability to push the play a little bit. Tough question of the day, Tommy. When's Bouchard play again? And I know you're not pushing for Bouchard to be in, and I like the way they've handled him so far as well. But I think it is an interesting question. Like, when will we see Bouchard draw back into the line? Does there need to be an injury essentially on the right side for it to happen?
Not necessarily. I think I want to see Bouchard back in too. I've liked his game and I like the continued growth, Dusty. I think it happens if Ethan Bear plays poorly or Barry or a Larson is a little bit banged up and they see a window to get Bouchard back in there. But I think it's really on Ethan Bear to either play poorly or one of the three to get hurt where we see Evan Bouchard back in. Or at some point they decide to give one of those guys a rest and say, hey, we need to get Bouchard back in the mix. I've liked him this year. I think it's been a nice progression. I think that progression should continue. You heard Ken Holland yesterday say, hey, AHL, been there, done that. He's moving on. He's an NHL player now. Now it's about finding his groove at the NHL level, and that comes with time and patience. And let's collectively have that for Evan Bouchard, because all signs are arrow up, pointing to good things for this guy. But in terms of getting back in, that's when I see him getting back in that scenario.
Maybe in back-to-back situations. Maybe he gets in against Vancouver on Saturday and they tell Bear to take a rest for a game or something.
Yep.
Let's see here. Some questions trickling in the live stream. If you have any questions, put them up in there right now. We'll try to get to a few of those before we wrap up this episode. Still lots to get to. Ken Holland yesterday had an availability, talking deadline, talking Klefbom, talking Jesse Puljujarvi, talking Nuge. Tommy, I'll just give you the floor here, buddy. What was the one thing that kind of stood out? What do you think was newsworthy from that availability yesterday?
I was piqued curiosity-wise when I heard about Klefbom, because I was thinking out loud to myself, boy, we haven't heard anything about Oscar Klefbom in a while. Is he even going to be ready for next season? How does it affect the expansion draft? And do you leave him exposed? Does the NHL deem him unfit or injured? So that was interesting to find out. He's going to be having surgery in Cleveland in the next couple of weeks. Good sign. We'll see what his progression and rehabilitation is like. I'm guessing he's not going to be ready to start the year next season, but who knows? Could be wrong. And then the fact that they're not looking for depth players, they figure they have enough of those. If there's an impact player available somewhere around the league, then maybe they'll go after it. But again, money in, money out, it's tight. That cap really hinders things. I know there's some talk on the insiders about maybe the quarantine situation changing in the next couple months for players, people in general coming into Canada. We'll see if that affects anything, but we're a month away from the trade deadline. I still think you're pretty much looking at the roster that's taken this thing into the postseason if the Oilers do indeed clinch.
Tommy, let's talk a little bit about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and contract negotiations, obviously being quiet right now. I see that number in the text line into the show dropping a little bit compared to where it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Do you think he's hurting himself in contract negotiations with his play so far this year, or is it kind of just status quo?
It feels status quo. I think that's a better way to describe it. I don't know if he's necessarily hurting himself. I don't think he's going to take a haircut like Jordan Eberle had to. I think he might get a little bump up. He's very much valued. I know the landscape has changed somewhat around the National Hockey League, but there's some loyalty there, and I think you can reward him. He's versatile. He's their best winger. We've established that for the time being. Yes, Jesse Puljujarvi could very well in a year or two be their best winger, Dustin Nielsen. I know you would like that very much, but he's their best winger. He can play center, which he's doing right now. He's a very, very good National Hockey League player, and very, very good National Hockey League players are worth $7.5 million, especially when they're in their prime. I think he gets into the high sixes, Dusty, and I think they're going to start with a high ask and they'll barter their way down, the Oilers will, to somewhere around $6.75, $7 million per season. At least we heard that there's going to be some negotiation. There's some communication between Kenny Holland and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' agent. So we'll see where it goes.
What have you thought of that line through a couple of games?
I don't mind it. I think it's been okay. I think they're going to get some chances. Jesse Puljujarvi on a nice feed from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins rang one off the bar. I like the feistiness from Tyler Ennis. I think it's a good line. I think it has potential to support that monster top line in terms of offensive production. As long as Nugent-Hopkins keeps his feet moving, Puljujarvi keeps doing what he's doing, I figure they'll find a rhythm. I really do. And you look at those three, you're like, those are three good players. There's no reason why they can't have some offensive success 5-on-5.
Every time Puljujarvi makes a play with his ass, I want them in the ring to say, back that ass up. I want them to play that clip every time. Because, I mean, he's going to hurt somebody with his back end. He's starting to figure out that he can push people around a little bit, Tommy. It's kind of fun to watch him sort of realize that.
It is good. It's part of his growth. And it's like watching a puppy learn how to shake a paw or roll over, play dead, whatever.
That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
You're seeing it happen before our very eyes. You're like, yes, good job. There you go. That's the progression. And then he has that big shit-eating grin on his face when he goes to the bench. It's lovely.
All right, let's get to a couple of questions in the live stream inbox here. Let's start with this one from Not Marcel Hosa. Think there's any realistic chance Holland could be in on Rickard Rakell? Tommy?
I'll say this. He'll probably make a phone call. He calls everybody on everyone. Realistically, I would put the margins and odds really slim, like 15% chance that they actually pull something like that off. It would be fantastic. Again, money in, money out. All of those things need to be considered. It would be great to have a Rickard Rakell, but I don't see it happening. That's just my take, though.
All right, let's see here. What else we got? Flicker George is wondering, where is Zach? He's practicing.
Yep.
Could be returning next week, maybe, Tommy?
Yeah, we heard initially around the weekend. So, I mean, we're on the cusp of Saturday, and maybe at the earliest tomorrow, he has to be tested and given the green light to go. But he has been practicing with the team. He had been skating prior to that without the main group. So he's very close, just needs to get the blessing from the medical team. Perhaps tomorrow, maybe not, but he's very, very close, and we'll see. I think they could use Zach Kassian, and if Zach Kassian's hungry to play like he did prior to signing that contract and those suspensions last year, then that's a boon for this lineup without question.
Ciros is asking on the Twitter stream, any idea when we might get a chance to see Stalock in the lineup? I'm always fearful of Koskinen.
You and me both. Stalock should be coming out of quarantine in the next few days here. And then I know the kind of thought process is that they give these guys like a week to get acclimated with their new team. So perhaps we're talking about the debut of Alex Stalock next weekend, just as a safe guesstimate, if you will.
You know what? Save him. Put him in against the Leafs. Make his debut against the Leafs. Pick up a shutout. Dude will get a parade down 104th if that was to happen, man. It would be incredible. Absolutely.
I love it.
Incredible. Giovanni watching on the live stream says, Dusty, I love the slabs in the back. Anything on your radar next? That would be my hockey cards. The graded ones along the back up here. And you know what, Giovanni? Wait for me to drop my hockey card podcast at some point, and then we'll do that. I got lots of time on my hands. Why not?
Hey, how about Lieutenant Eric with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze crack pack today? That was a huge welcoming thing to wake up to. I looked at that. I'm like, boom, I'm awake. And I'm curious to see what cards he got. I haven't seen them yet.
You know what? We each opened up a pack. I was disappointed I didn't get a Splinter or a Shredder. I was very disappointed, Tommy.
Who did you get? Did you get Vanilla Ice?
No, I didn't get it. Well, it was the second one. Was he in the second one? Was he
was in the second one. Yes.
He wasn't. Okay, well, I didn't get a Vanilla Ice either. I got nothing. I got like just a bunch of movie stills, and that's it. Like no special profile cards or anything. It was a little disappointing.
Arrow up, buddy. Things are looking better for the weekend.
Yeah, Marcus says, Dusty, hockey cards ain't cool anymore. Get in on those NFTs. You could be a rich man. Oh,
yeah. Those are pricey.
I still don't understand it. It seems so pricey. I can't do that. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, although I should have got into Bitcoin, I guess, 6 years ago. I wouldn't have to be doing 27 podcasts in a month. All right, Tommy. What time's your pregame show get going tonight?
6 p.m. Myself, Maddie, Cassie, and Connor Halley. Oh, thank you for that laugh. We're always good to go. We'll get you ready for the Sens and then the Oilers.
And tomorrow night? What time's pregame tomorrow night? With
6:30, 8 o'clock start. Yeah. So we do the hour and a half. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for another edition of the Oil Stream, brought to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. Pick up your Oilers meal, get your Oilers cup today at all of the Popeyes locations there. Tommy, enjoy the. I guess you're working Friday and Saturday nights. You're a busy guy, buddy. Have fun with it though. It should be good.
I love working. Hey, man, a year ago this time, I wouldn't know what we'd be doing. And to know that we're working now after everything we've gone through is A-okay in my books.
We're back, baby. We're back, and we'll be back with another episode next Wednesday. For Tom Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thanks for watching. If you've been watching and you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, do it right now. Enjoy your weekend.